I had a lot of stuff planned this month, I still do, but I had looked at my little outline and realized a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about surround controversy and stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, I should probably spread some cheer or something. And so I was like, you know what? Today, let's talk about some of my favorite toys and plushies and games that I think are worth it to ask for the holidays this year. And I'm a bear today. I got this cute little bear scarf from Amazon after watching a C-drama where the main character girl was like sobbing, but she was wearing this really cute little hoodie scarf bear thing, and I was like, I need that now. So I'll leave the link in the description if you want this. Yeah, let's get into it.
Do you know? No. It's a Game Boy. Right.
So first, I want to say, if you want to get toys or plushies or whatever, I highly recommend getting something from your childhood or something that you wanted as a child. Last year for Christmas, I asked Louis for Lala Loopsies and Zuzu Pets because I remember one specific Christmas I got both of those things, and those two franchises are very nostalgic for me and genuinely remind me of Christmas. He got me 2 Lala Loopsies and a Zuzu Pet and like a Zuzu Pet wheel, and the dopamine I got from that was insane, you guys. So genuinely nothing beats getting toys for Christmas. So I highly recommend, even if you don't typically ask for toys or buy yourself toys, ask for one. Ask for one toy this year and I guarantee you won't regret it. With that, let's get into some of my current favorites. So some of these are things that are currently being sold in stores and online and stuff, and other things I'm gonna mention are from the 2000s and the 2010s and are things that you can get on eBay, Mercari, thrifting, etc. None of this is sponsored, by the way. Let's talk about the OG Littlest Pet Shops. I know the new Basic Fun Littlest Pet Shops are out in stores right now, but if you have not been satisfied with the quality or the way Basic Fun has handled things recently, I don't know, just rubbing people the wrong way, I highly recommend searching for some 2000s Littlest Pet Shops. And I'm not just talking the main 5. Like, I don't want you guys to have to go out and spend a freaking $100 to get a wiener dog. I'm saying just like, not even the popular ones. I think if you're only into main 5s and stuff, which if you don't know are the most popular Littlest Pet Shops, I think it's a really good idea to go back and find what made you connect with Littlest Pet Shop in the first place. And I can guarantee it wasn't just you wanted the ones that were the most popular. You just gravitated towards the ones that you enjoyed. So I highly recommend going back and trying to figure out which one was your favorite as a kid if you were into them at that time, and maybe asking for it for Christmas. Last year, Louis' mom actually went on Etsy, I want to say, and got me these like vintage Littlest Pet Shop surprise packs. And I got like 2 little packs of 3 surprise pets, and I think it was like you were guaranteed to get a cat or a dog in each one. I can't remember the brand name off the top of my head, but I'll look after this and put it here. But they're not the only ones. There are tons of shops that do stuff like this. So if you're into the surprise pack gimmick, then I highly recommend doing something like this. You're guaranteed to get some decent pets. But if you're not a fan of surprise packs, then I just recommend going on eBay or Mercari and finding a pet that you either had as a kid and lost, or just a pet that you wanted and never got. If they're not a main 5 pet, then you probably won't have to pay all that much. But again, if you're asking them for Christmas, well, that's the person you're asking for's problem. Anyway, just wanted to talk about that real quick. But yeah, let's move on. So other toys that I think are worth it this year, I have to plug Weeping Water Lilies, my favorite small business, who sent me all these plushies. I did a whole thing in this video if you want to watch me unbox these, but I cannot go this video without recommending their plushies. They're just the best and full of so much personality, and yeah, I won't go too much into them because I already did last time, but I just had to. This little guy has been with me constantly. Another thing that is kind of a throwback, I recommend getting yourself a webkin. This is one of my webkins from when I was a kid. Gans has released new webkins, but they were only in stores for a short amount of time and everyone got them already. Scalpers got them, everybody got them. So, but the original webkins are currently not being sold anymore. However, there are ways. I have a store near me that always has a good amount of stock of original webkins. I don't know where they get it. I don't care where they get it. I am just happy that they're still in stores. But you can also get these on eBay or Mercari and I believe even Amazon, but be careful with that because I don't know their code situation. Again, webkins come with a code that you can input onto their website and then play with your pet. And that is the main focus I want to talk about here, is that webkins is still very much alive. The original webkins, like you don't have to play a whole new version. Like it is basically the same as when we were kids and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I played it a lot last year around this time and then I started playing again this year. I don't know, there's something about the holidays that makes me want to play webkins. I don't know what it is, but everything's still there. All your favorite characters are still there. And yeah, you actually, I don't believe you have to go out and buy a webkin anymore. I think you can start off. They have like starters that you can just choose from and it's completely free. You can also get a membership and that will give you, I forget the currency, like these golden little coins. And if you save up enough of those, you can adopt a pet online. The only thing is that you won't have the physical plush. So I just wanted to remind you guys that webkins is very much still around and I've been having a blast and it's definitely something that is extra fun around the holidays. I don't know what it is, it just is. Anyway, what are we drinking today? I have my gingerbread cup and I'm drinking some hot pumpkin coffee with marshmallows. Here's a tip for you guys. Treat your hot coffee like it's a hot chocolate. Put marshmallows on it, put whipped cream on it, even put some like hot chocolate like powder in it or something. Highly recommend. The next thing I want to talk about that is actually more of a modern toy and it's technically like a toy game Tamagotchi situation. That is Bitsies. I actually got this Bitsy 2 years ago on Christmas. My mom got it for me and I was obsessed. I was playing it like crazy that week of Christmas and then I realized I was really flying through it and so I didn't want to finish it, so I just like didn't play it. But recently I started playing it again because there's something about the holidays. I don't know, I come back to all these games and toys and stuff that I've kind of ditched throughout the year. This is the original Bitsy, so you can have 15 Bitsies, but the newer ones you can have even more, and they actually have a hamster Bitsy right now, and I'm actually foaming at the mouth for this thing. I want it so bad. Because you know me, I love hamsters, and also I do believe there's customization in that game, like you can get them clothes and stuff. But this is the original one, so there's none of that in here. Essentially, you take care of your Bitsy by feeding them, like rocking them to sleep, petting them, and they start as a baby, and then they grow to an adult, and then they grow to a super Bitsy, I want to say. I don't know if it's actually called that, but when they get to super Bitsy status, they kind of earn this like gimmick, like my snail turned into like a race car driver, and then you can play like a little race car driver mini game, and it's really cute. It's kind of hard to show on camera. The camera doesn't really pick it up that well, but it's really cute. It's very like retro inspired. It's kind of a fun, innovative take on the Tamagotchi, and I think it's one of the more modern kids toys slash games that I think actually have a lot of personality. Yes, it kind of builds off of a previous idea, the Tamagotchi, but it has its own identity, which I really appreciate, and it's just, I don't know, it's very cool, it's very unique. Like, I've never had anything like this, and they have all sorts of different ones now. They have dinosaur Bitsies, magical Bitsies, Harry Potter Bitsies, Disney Bitsies, and now the hamster Bitsies, and I cannot wait. I hope I get it for Christmas. I think my only complaints about this is that if you wanted to, you could get through this entire thing in like a day. That's why I stopped playing it originally, because I didn't want to finish it. So if you're someone who literally likes to speedrun through life, I highly recommend maybe not getting one of these, because once you get each Bitsy to super Bitsy status, there's kind of not a lot to do with them after that, which is another gripe I have with this. The only other thing that I have to say is that it does have kind of flashing lights a bit, and I do have some eye issues. I have this thing called after image where if I'm looking at something for a while and I like turn, especially towards like a plain wall, I like see the outline of it. A lot of people have that with stuff with lights. Like I'm looking at this ring light right now, and if I look, I can kind of see the outline. It was a lot worse when I was a teenager. I kind of either got used to it or it's kind of faded. So I definitely have to take note of that when I'm playing this, and I have to take a lot of breaks. But that's kind of a me issue, but I know it bothers a lot of people. So I would recommend this to somebody who is into pet simulators and wants something new and different and unique, but definitely take your time with this one. I can't speak for the newer Bitsy, so if any of you are Bitsy girls, let me know. And yeah, let's move on. Here's one. If you watched my vlog, my most recent vlog on Flurry Sun, then you already know the next two, but I won these in claw machines, and I got this plushie, you guys, and I am so obsessed with him. Are you kidding with him? So he's a dog, and what somebody mentioned in my comments that I didn't even put two and two together is that I think he's a knockoff of a Calico Critter. So I don't think this is an official product. Obviously, this is not an official Calico Critters product, but it is clearly inspired by the dog Calico Critter. The only thing though, so I'll show you guys because I want you guys to be able to get this for yourselves, but I'm having a hard time finding exactly where it's from because everyone I've reverse image searched this, and everyone I see has like a yellow outfit instead of blue. But this is definitely very good quality. Like, I don't think it's just a random outfit. Like, it feels so soft. That's another thing. It does not feel like your average knockoff plushie. It feels really nice, and his face is so funny. His nose is like all messed up. I named him Baby because the tag literally just says baby. And everything is written in Chinese, so I don't know what it says, so I don't know exactly where you can get this, so I do feel a little bad for recommending this, but at the same time, I just needed to show you guys, so highly recommend if you're a plushie girl, and if you're a Calico Critter girl too. Another thing I won, this came in a blind box. It says Samuel on it, Samuel, and then whatever this says, Mayu. It's kind of like Labubu Yuki adjacent. And I was expecting this to be another knockoff, but I do believe this is actually legit. And just look at this thing. He's so cute. He smells like grapes, and his eyes move. I have been obsessed with this thing. I've been playing with its eyes like crazy. It's like ASMR. It smells so good. It reminds me of, what are they called? Furberries? So good. So this is another one that you don't exactly play with, but it's like a collectible that I just wanted to recommend. Let's move on to some games. I'll be talking about my Nintendo Switch and my 3DS. Starting with Nintendo Switch, I really want to recommend a few games to you guys, especially if you have been kind of on the fence about them. I'm here to give you either the push to ask for them or some information to help you decide if it's for you. So the first game I want to talk about is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. This is a farming game, so if you're not into farming games, then this might not be your thing. If you didn't know, Story of Seasons is Harvest Moon. If you remember Harvest Moon from the early 2000s, they had to go through a name switch. So anything you see nowadays that's called Story of Seasons, that is from the original creators and developers of Harvest Moon. If you see anything nowadays called Harvest Moon come out, that is simply the people who got the name. There was a whole dispute. So if you play a new Harvest Moon game and you're like, wait, this doesn't hit the same as the old ones, it's not the same people. They just won the name, really. Anyway, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a remake, which, if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of remakes. I'm just kind of over repackaging old ideas. I think newer generations deserve new and fresh ideas, just like we all got. But I do have to say, with certain games, I think it makes more sense, especially in dating simulators, because Story of Seasons is also a dating simulator, because in the older Harvest Moon games, you can't be gay. gay. And if you want to marry a girl, you can't play as a girl. You'd have to play as a boy. So I think that's a good enough reason, honestly, to recreate these games, because a lot of these games come from the GameCube and the DS and the 3DS, and they can't install updates like they do nowadays, you know what I mean? And I think Grand Bazaar has a decent enough story that it makes sense to be remade. If you don't know, in most farming games, you farm your stuff, you get your freaking carrots or whatever, and then you throw them in the bin, and then the bin gets sold, and that's how you make your money every day. But in Grand Bazaar, it works a bit differently. Every week on Saturday, you run a little tiny shop in the bazaar, which essentially is just like a little kind of flea market vibe. And the more little shops that you unlock and the more you sell at your own shop, the more the bazaar grows and the more the story moves forward. So it kind of gives a fun incentive to keep playing that is a bit different than other farming games and other Story of Seasons games. There is voice acting, which is a first for the series, and I was a little worried, not worried, but I was kind of like, okay, let's see how this goes, because I, for one, like to imagine what their voices sound like. I don't know. I'm a romance girly. I read a lot of romance books, and I, for one, hate when they're like, his blonde hair flows in the wind. No. I did not picture him with blonde hair. I don't think I've ever pictured a man with blonde hair. His bright green eyes sparkle. Brown. His brown eyes. You know what I mean? So like, and it kind of messes me up because now I can't stop picturing him with the blonde hair, and I don't want to picture him like that. But I do have to say the voice acting slays in this game, especially with my man Lloyd.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
And that's all I have to say. Literally me and Louie. I don't have a lot of complaints about this game. I think the only thing I have to say really about the dating, and I haven't gotten married yet, so I can't say, you know, maybe I shouldn't have an opinion yet, but I do feel like the romance could have been a bit better. I don't know. I really hold Trio of Towns to a very high standard. This is the best Story of Seasons game in my opinion. I dated Ludus, by the way, my king, my heart and soul. But I genuinely was like, oh my god, what is Ludus gonna say to me today? Like, I genuinely felt like crazy. Like genuinely I felt like these were real people. They felt so real. And so I do have to say, like, I don't feel that same way in this game, but also, to be fair, it's a remake. They are just trying to remake what they had before, so I get it, but that's just me being nitpicky. Anyway, so if that sounds interesting to you, I highly recommend asking for it for the holidays. Moving on to Hello Kitty Island Adventure, you guys. I'm gonna be honest, I loved this game when I first played it, but I kind of ditched it for a few months because I kind of got a bit overwhelmed. Like, I think I'm very used to Animal Crossing's slow pace, but Hello Kitty Island Adventure, they got you doing shit. You have quests like crazy. You got daily quests, weekly quests, you got the story to figure out. Like, there's a lot. You got a lot to do. So I kind of got a bit overwhelmed, and then after a couple months of not playing, I kind of got worried, or I kind of felt like I couldn't go back to it because I was like, oh, I probably missed so much. Like, there was so many events that happened. But a few weeks ago, I was like, I can't not play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Like, look at me. And so I started playing again, and I do not regret it. I think it was actually surprisingly easy to return back to this game. So if you have a similar worry, I would just hop right back into it. The character customization is absolutely adorable. They recently added a mouse-like animal, and so I made myself like a little hamster character. There's a lot to do, and that could be a positive thing. You know, I've turned it into a positive thing because I did get a bit overwhelmed for a second, but now I'm like, oh my god, I'm never bored here. Like, there's so much to do. So if you didn't want to play this game because you thought it would be a bit slow, if you kind of weren't a fan of Animal Crossing, I actually recommend Hello Kitty Island Adventure for you then, because there's a lot to do, lots of quests, lots of characters, but I definitely want to talk about My Sims. It's definitely something that a lot of people weren't the biggest fans of when it came out, and I think that's because you have to know which one to play. So the My Sims Cozy Bundle comes with 2 games. There's My Sims and then there's My Sims Kingdom. And which one you're gonna play is based off of what kind of gameplay you like. If you like when a game follows a story and you have like a clear goal at the end of the road, if you like structure, essentially completing the story, wrapping it with a little bow, you're gonna wanna play Kingdom. If you like more of a free play kind of Animal Crossing vibe, you get to decorate, you hang out, you still have goals, but they're less clear. Like, you can kind of do them whenever you want, then you're gonna want to play the original My Sims. And there's a chance you might not like either one. It is originally a Wii game, and you kind of have to be in the right mood to play it. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not playing that, and other times I'm like glued to my Switch with this stupid game. I do have to say one thing, the fashion ate down in this game. Tell me why my sim looks this good. So they did not have to pop off that hard with the fashion, and they did it, and I respect it. So anyway, for 3DS, a few that I want to talk about. One, recently I've been obsessed with Fantasy Life. What a great game. What a great game. They recently made a Switch version. I don't know if it's a remake or a second one. Let me know what you guys think of that. This can be you guys telling me if it's worth getting for Christmas, because I've been loving the 3DS version. You basically choose what life you have. You can be like a sorcerer, choose a more combat-based life. You could be a cook. I chose Tailor, where I'm like making cute little clothes and stuff. You can be an alchemist, which was my second choice because Louis always says I make my coffee like it's alchemy. I take it very seriously. There's character customization. It's really cute, very in-depth. Lots of cute clothes if you're interested in that. And the writing is really funny and witty and smart. And the story is very interesting. I'm only on chapter 2 though, so I can't really say a whole lot about that. But you can get this probably on, I think it actually might be on Amazon, but if it's not, I think I might have gotten mine on eBay for probably like $40. So not super cheap, not super expensive either compared to a lot of older games, but it's not super old. And I don't know, I just really highly recommend it. Style savvy trendsetters, definitely another one if you're a big fan of character customization. Cute vibes, and it's not simply just a dress up game, because at first I was like, I don't know if I want to play this. Like, you just dress up, like who cares? But it's not just a dress up game. You literally have your own store that you can choose like what kind of clothes that you sell, like what style. You can like customize the store itself, and you help customers find what clothes they want, control like the stock that you have, and also you can enter yourself into these fashion competitions that are really exciting and really fun. I highly recommend it. It's such a great game. And you know what? I've also been playing a lot of Super Princess Peach. This is a great game. I'm gonna talk about that game more when I make, because I'm doing a Princess Peach deep dive. Absolutely. In the new year, keep your eye out for that. She's my girl. If you want more of a story-based kind of platform game that's still cute and has an interesting story, I highly recommend the Princess Peach DS game. I think it is severely underrated. I think a lot of people at the time thought it might be kind of sexist because Princess Peach a lot of her like special moves that she does are based off emotions, like a lot. It's very emotion based. I kind of take it a little differently. I take it as she is very in control of her emotions, and I think having very clear and strong emotions are not weak. I think it's actually very strong to be in control of your emotions and be honest about your emotions. And I don't know, I don't think that's what they meant by it. They were probably meaning to be a little sexist, but I take it completely differently. Anyway, it's just fun gameplay wise, and it's less of a life simulator. I know I talk a lot about life simulators. Anyway, that's about it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below if you take my advice on any of these, or if you have any recommendations for me and the other commenters for what to ask for Christmas this year. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye!